You're listening to Modern Male Radio with Jerod Zavistoski and Sydney Hall, right here on LA Talk Radio.
What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Jerod Zavistoski, and you're listening to Modern Male Radio. This is all the stuff your mama should have told you and the shit your daddy never knew. And joining me tonight, we've got some very special girls. So you guys both work for Playboy. You did Maxim, and you're Playboy Cyber Girl of the Year 2014. Elizabeth Marx and Krystle Lina.
Yes.
Yes, got it. And we also have a special drop-by guest, my hairstylist, Adam Bazzini. Woo! Okay.
Yeah.
So, girls, real quick, tell us about yourselves. We'll start with you, Elizabeth.
I'm from Texas, and I'm a model and a photographer, and I don't know, I work for Playboy. I love it. I like to get naked on camera.
Okay.
I don't know.
Naked period or just on camera? Is it like a fetish thing?
I mean, I like being naked. It's fun.
So, like, would that be the pickup? You know, if a guy wanted to get with you, if he had a camera, it would make him more
No.
appealing? No. Okay.
It's not like that.
I was
it doesn't
just
work
checking.
like that.
I
But
gotta run in the back, grab my camera real
my
quick.
favorite thing to do, I'm always naked in my house. So
Okay.
my
Okay.
neighbors love it.
I'm sure they do. And you live in Texas?
I actually live in Denver.
Okay. Okay. So for the stalkers out there, you're gonna be making a road trip soon. And are the bushes around your house very high? Is there a gate? You know,
There's a gate.
Okay. Is there a dog?
I have 2 dogs.
2 dogs.
And they're big.
Okay. So things that you guys need to know for stalking Elizabeth, you know, bring mace. Krystle, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
And I'm also a model and a photographer. I started off modeling first. Then I did radio. I did red carpet hosting, which I wasn't very good at.
It's hard to come off the cuff.
Yeah, and
Just-
not only that, I really didn't want to do my research. I hate to say it.
Like, I don't care who the fuck you are. I
Yeah.
only care who I am. Okay. Jesus.
And then after that, I was like, okay, well, what else am I going to do? I mean, I still like modeling, but you can't do that forever. So I bought a camera and I started shooting. Within a year, I was published in Maxim. Within 2 years, I was doing Maxim, FHM, Sports Illustrated. I've shot multiple celebrities, including Bone Thugs, Jessie Jane, Christy Mack, Vita Guerra. When I did shoot Vita Guerra, the video went on Entertainment Tonight, which was pretty cool.
Cool.
So I've done some stuff, but I still I've not accomplished nearly half of what I want to.
Okay. Awesome. So if people want to find, we'll cover links at the end. Adam, what's up?
How are you?
Tell people who you are, what you're doing.
I'm Adam. I'm the guy that makes this guy look prettier than he already is.
I don't know if that's true.
So, yeah, I do hair. That's my latest venture, but I've done everything from health supplements to music. And, yeah, I think I finally found my niche.
Yeah, no, you did, and it's funny because I didn't get that at first. I thought you were deprecating, like telling me that I was better looking than you. And I was like, no, but
No, you are.
you do make me look.
I think there's been multiple debates when we're out of.
Yeah,
who's
but
the better
there's never
looking.
any clear winner.
Yeah.
There's never any clear winner.
I guess it's more of a preference kind of thing.
Yeah. It's funny because you've got
Looking at
the more Gosling-ish look, and I look just like Adam Levine, but you've got the tattoos, so it's like this weird mashup.
We're hybrid.
Yeah.
Like a
If
dysfunctional
Adam Levine
family.
and Ryan Gosling fucked and they had 2 sons,
Oh my God.
we would be those 2 sons,
I love it.
Yeah.
right?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you actually do my hair. It's fantastic. Everybody's complimented me on this haircut, by the way.
Thanks.
Everybody.
You don't have to say that. you
No,
know.
I'm not saying that. Just
I did have to slip you some money to say that over the radio, but
by the way, the show is sponsored by Adam Bazzini.
$40 to sponsor tonight's show.
So speaking of tonight's show, we are going to be covering chivalry and gallantry, which is a topic that I've wanted to talk about for a very, very long time. I think it's something that's very misunderstood, and I think it's something that's neglected, negated, and utterly disregarded so often. And, you know, I think people have a wrong idea of what chivalry is. So we're going to try and get to the bottom of it, why it works, why it doesn't work, how much is too much, and we're going to go back and forth, and we're really going to get down to the bare bones of chivalry and gallantry. So, ladies,
Yes.
when do you think chivalry is appropriate? Is this an all-the-time thing? Is it a sometimes thing? Or, I mean, I've met girls who don't like chivalry. So, give me your thoughts.
Well, there's a time and place for everything, but when I'm meeting someone, first impressions are always great. So, and I'm from Texas, so there's that thing about Southern gentlemen, and a lot of the guys there have chivalry. So, when you're first meeting someone, you want to kind of impress them, and that's a good way to do it.
Okay. What about you, Krystle?
Well, I think it's important to be courteous no matter what, but there's a borderline between being like courteous and a gentleman and just being fake. So if that's not who you are, then that's fine, but I wouldn't go out with you.
Okay.
I like guys who are gentlemen also.
Okay. Interesting. So, and it's funny because we talk about this being fake. I think people in general, in any society are kind of fake. Even, conditioning an automatic sense of manners, an automatic repertoire of this is how I'm going to act. Well, that was fake to begin with at some point.
Right.
But what I think that the biggest thing is that men, they don't understand what the ingraining manners, having manners is something that you've appropriated, and then being too eager. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of that, Adam, because you used to do club promoting. So you've seen
LA in general is just a wacky place. Yeah, I used to call it. I called it the circus. It's just, people act in all sorts of manners, just like off the wall. I think Southern California in general just lacks a certain amount of, family values and culture. So people just kind of tend to, do anything to attain the goals they want to achieve. And
I agree.
You touched on something, or we touched on something, the balance between having manners, being eager. And it's funny because I know a lot of nice guys who would be chivalrous and it would come off like what you're saying, where it's fake and they're like trying too hard, and it's like, relax, get it right, and then you kind of gotta, it's like you gotta learn it and forget it and just let it come out naturally and condition it.
Right.
Have you guys ever had experiences with guys who are too eager? I'm sure.
Well, yeah. Come on.
Tell me about some of them.
I worked in the club scene, and I'm always in the club scene, doing promoting and stuff. And so there's always guys that will come up to me and try too hard, or they'll try to get me like, oh, do you want me to get you a drink? Do you want me to do this for you? Do you want me to do that for you? Can I help you go do this?
It's like, yeah, I want you to lick the bottom of my shoe real quick.
And that's not
I
how
stepped in some shit.
They might.
I have met guys that would. What about you, Krystle?
You know what? Honestly, I probably don't notice if they're too eager because I like it.
Okay.
So I'm one of those girls who likes guys who are all up on my jock all the time. Some girls don't like that because they'd prefer to have a chase, but I'm not a chaser. I like guys to chase me. So if they're the more eager, the better.
And I've met girls that share both of your opinions on that. I've met girls that don't like it, and I've met girls that are just like, no, the more that you show you love me, the more I care, or the more I want. But it's interesting because chivalry is kind of a way to show that you care. You just ingrained a proper. It's funny because I wrote down the definition of chivalry, so I'm going to give this to you guys right now. It was a knight's code of courage, honor, justice, courtesy, and a readiness to help the weak. So basically, Superman. That's what chivalry is.
Or Batman.
Yeah, but Batman he's kind of a dick. I
like Batman.
I love Batman too. He's an ends justifies the means kind of guy. I wouldn't be Superman.
He's a perfect balance though.
Mm-hmm. And I talk about that in the book actually. There's a whole section on edge, where you kind of being edgy is getting to know the rules, knowing where you can break them, and doing it for fun. And it's
you gotta be the lovable dick.
Yeah. Well,
that's what I like.
At that point, it's just being the lovable dick is a guy who's playful. A guy who gets the social interaction going on enough to give you a hard time about it, and to play with you, and that's what people like. It's that social aptitude, that intelligence, that quick-mindedness that kind of keeps you smiling. Yeah. It's edgy charm. But so, have you guys ever had like any like really really embarrassing moments with chivalry? Just kind of, I know, just springing shit on them.
I've had guys where we've gone out together and it's not a date, but they kind of wanted it to be. And if it's not a date, then we're splitting the bill. I'm not going to let you pay for me because that's not really what I want. So that was kind of embarrassing for him.
It's
I don't hear that. That doesn't happen in LA.
Really?
No, hell no.
I guess it's a Southern thing.
What? That guys are embarrassed?
Girls trying to split the bill?
Yeah, not really.
Girls will go out with guys they're not interested in just for a free meal.
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
called Tinder dinners or whatever.
Is that really a
sponsored
thing?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh, wow.
I learned about it.
Sponsor dates.
Sponsor dates.
Sponsor dates. I learned about it on this show. Like, yeah, there's a whole group of girls that'll actually like hit you up online, and they'll act like they're interested, and they'll go out with you just to, be like, hey,
Free
like
food.
free food.
Oh wow, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah, and they'll do that like 7 days a week.
I really wanted to try this restaurant. We should go.
I would rather go to
Yeah.
dinner by myself or with a girlfriend and just pay for it myself than
Yeah.
talk to somebody I don't want to talk to.
Exactly. It's not worth the free food. But some girls are just they're so good at tuning the world out.
Compartmentalization.
Yeah, or I don't know. Maybe the whole time they just like judging people. They like sitting there and being like, oh my god, I feel so much cooler than this person. He's gonna buy me dinner. Peace.
That's so weird.
It is gross.
It's a good ego boost.
Yeah,
Some
and
people need that.
I know a lot of girls that it's funny because when women go out and they get all dressed up but they're like, oh, don't hit on me. But it's like they really came out just for the intention. They want the guy to hit on them, but they don't want the guy to actually go any farther than that. They just want the compliments.
Yeah.
Right.
That what is it? Self-esteem boost.
It's like a big self-help seminar.
Yeah. Well, I mean
It's
that's
dedicated. The club's dedicated to them.
Yes, indeed. But it doesn't work. When your self-esteem is dependent upon other people talking about your looks, and you get so obsessed with that the second there's anything, you get vapid, vain, and anytime there's something wrong, it's like this perfection. You become a perfectionist about your outward appearance, and you're really not internalizing or dealing with any of your feelings or anything that you need to be dealing with to get through life, which is unfortunate, and a lot of women fall into that trap. A lot of men fall into that trap as well. I would say men are less cosmetic though. Men kind of do the not the opposite thing,
Maybe
but they're
not
like,
in LA.
what's that?
I said maybe not in LA.
What, men aren't cosmetic?
Every guy I meet here is.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like I know so many guys that have like Botox and Juvederm, and I'm like, dang, I don't even have that.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so here's how LA works. We have an industry that attractive people come for. So everybody from Kansas and Arkansas and all over Michigan and any other state, they either went to New York for modeling or they went to LA for acting. So you've got an abundance of people who actually, and they're not very educated on acting, so they don't, they're probably not aware that it's not all your looks. So they come out here because in their hometown, everybody told them, hey, you're so good looking, you should be an actor. You should be. You know how many times I've been told that I should be an actor or a model or something, and I'm like, I don't fucking like that.
You got to be a sociopath.
You got to be a very good liar.
Yeah, you got to be a sociopath.
It's a trip. Hey,
the best
off
actors.
topic. So there's actually, the word sociopath isn't actually a word. I found this out the other day.
What?
So you know how people think that sociopath is a definition for somebody who's like socially remorseless?
Yeah.
Yeah, sociopath and psychopath are the same word. Sociopath was just kind of like dubbed, but it's like it's not actually proper. It's just psychopath.
Figures why I'd use it.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Well, I mean, like, I guess sociology, like, you're dealing with the sociology of it, of being a psychotic person. So
Yeah.
So I guess that's where it came from.
Maybe. I think it came from a movie or something, and it got picked up. It was like in the 50s or 40s or something. It was so. Anyways, we're so off topic right now. So back to chivalry and being a gentleman. So I mean, it's funny because I've seen guys just like bolt towards a door and open it up and make it. It's just like you're trying too hard, and that's not attractive. But you like that, right?
Right.
So that would get you.
Well, I mean, if I like the person, yes.
Okay. What makes you like the person?
I don't know. For me, it's just connection more than anything. I don't date a lot. I'm always in a serious relationship or I'm single. I'm not like a dater. I'm not a serial dater. And so if I'm into somebody, I want them to be equally as into me as I am to them. Make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm not.
So then it's cute.
Yeah. So for me,
Yeah.
I'm not like into playing the guessing game. Like, oh my God, does he like me? Oh my gosh, he's ignoring me. I'm just gonna keep texting him. No, I hate that.
It's a very practical way. It breaks down the social constructs that are surround dating and kind of make it a miserable pain in the ass.
Right. It's like,
Right.
do we like each other? Yes. Oh my gosh, I want to talk to you all day long, or I don't, whatever. But like, this guy wants to talk to me just as much as I want to talk to him, rather than playing that game. You know what I mean? I just can't stand that. So the more eager, the better. If I like you and there's a connection, otherwise I probably wouldn't even be in that situation anyways because I don't go out a lot. and I'm not a dater. So.
Yeah. And it's funny because, there's so many different little brackets that haven't been, definitively compartmentalized, because it's like you like a guy if he likes you and you like him and he texts you. But if somebody starts to overtext, I have a 3 rule.
Yeah, it bothers me too.
Yeah, it's like I'll really, really like somebody, but they start sending
Is there anything
more than
is
5
there
texts. I'm
more
like,
I can't do it.
Is there
Yeah.
anything- I call it it's a novel. Oh, somebody sent you a novel. Yeah.
no, but it is. It's
You
like,
get
it's
it.
like, why is my
It's
phone? And then
nothing
you
more
start
frightening.
getting unnerved.
You don't even want to
Yeah.
read into it because
The
you feel like it's just going to get
eagerness
worse as you
makes
go
me feel
down.
uncomfortable.
It's a little like okay, how are you lacking that social aptitude? You kind of start getting scared of it. You're like, well, that's not normal. Like, you can see that I'm not texting you back. Why would you continue to text me?
Exactly.
And it's
Well, that's just creepy.
exactly exactly. So I do for our viewers out there, I do a 3 rule. No more than 3 texts at a time. I don't care if it's your fucking girlfriend. You don't need to blow her fucking phone up. No more than 3 texts at a time, unresponded to. Unless it's like something you're super excited about and you two are both in on it. And then no more than liking 3 of her pictures at a time. No more than 3 comments on a fucking profile. 3 rule all the way down. Anything that you would think about doing, never do more than 3 of it.
I agree.
Is my thought.
I don't even really do social media with guys.
Yeah, look at you.
I don't think you should think about it that much.
I'm a serial like rapist.
Like, I just think you should just kind of let it happen.
Yeah, I had to think about it. That's my job.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about
Yeah.
like a rule about something like that.
There are a lot of guys out there that really need rules because things are left vague, and when you leave things vague, men kind of we're hungry for advice, but nobody's ever like stepped up to the plate and actually like made rules. And that's why the pickup artist community got so popular for a time. There was because it was a system that men could follow. It was step by step. But whenever somebody's out there and they're asking for dating advice, they'll get a whole bunch of different opinions from a whole bunch of different people, and it'll leave them more confused than ever. So for guys that haven't been out there and dated, which is most of our viewership, the guys that don't really know what to do. And it's funny because there's probably somebody watching the show right now going, "Oh fuck, that's where I screwed up." You can do little check-ins and stuff, but I mean, in general, yes. If you text somebody and they don't text you back for 2 days, like, yeah, don't
Leave me alone.
Yeah, they're not interested in you, so don't blow up their phone. But that has nothing to do with chivalry. I mean, it does, because technically chivalry. So it's funny because gallantry has a double definition. So gallantry it stands for bravery, courage, courteousness, valor, pluckiveness. Okay, so we're just gonna go on from there.
I always thought of you as very plucky.
Yeah. I've got some pluck in me. No, gallantry is like, it's bravery, it's courage, it's like, in battle. And then it's got a double definition where it's polite attention and respect given by men to women, and which is actually synonymous with chivalry. And the Knight's Code of chivalry, honor, justice, courtesy, readiness to help the weak. But it's interesting because we associate chivalry with, that Prince Charming archetype. And generally, when I hear chivalry, I think open doors, closed doors. That's all I think about. And I would have never known that the specific definition of chivalry is, open doors, closed doors, but also be ready to pick up a sword and fight a motherfucker the second, shit rolls down.
Right.
But that's in there, be a man and take care of your surroundings, take care of the women that you're with, be respectful, courteous, patient, kind. It's like this all encompassing thing. It's like the fucking code of the samurai. That's what chivalry is. Anyways, so what do you guys think? You're just smiling at me.
Lost me at samurai. I'm like, wow.
Well, like the Bushido, like every culture's kind of got their
No,
warrior
I'm
code.
playing with you.
Oh.
No, it's just a lot to take in.
You're almost reciting poetry for us right now. We're just having a listening.
Aw, thank you.
We like listening to you talk. Just keep going. Just kidding.
Okay.
No, you know what? Honestly, I like guys that are courteous and they don't have to be kissing my ass all the time. I want somebody to just be themselves, and I want somebody.
What about licking it?
Maybe.
Or spanking it? That's back to my 3 rule. You can kiss an ass, then you can lick an ass, then you can spank an ass, and if you do all those 3 things in rotation, she'll never get bored.
Amen. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, and I'm one of those people. I like to talk a lot, so you don't always have to agree with me. Sometimes it's more interesting if I don't agree with everything you say.
Of course, yeah.
You know, but that I feel like there's a difference between having manners and common courtesy for somebody and, you know, like I said earlier, being fake and kissing somebody's ass. So, yeah, I might want a guy to be all up on my jock, but I don't necessarily need to agree with everything he says or does. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a big thing is, you know, being afraid to be who you are to please somebody else is a big mistake that a lot of guys who are new make. And the fact is, if you embrace and embody who you are, how you want to be, and I mean, granted, like there's definitely a balance there because you really want to put forward the time to see where you're affecting other people, how you're affecting other people. Is this a trait that I would like to continue? Is this something that I should refine up? But I think the real concern there is that you made a conscious choice to do this, and you're not going to just, you know, uproot everything that you've grown and built into who you are because somebody doesn't like it.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
And that goes right back into, and this is a big reason why women end up leaving their guys, because men need to be rooted and grounded. It's a part that is the innate male and the innate female. These aren't social constructs. Men making decisions and being very, very grounded and rooted, and women being able to trust that, because when she sees a man, subconsciously she's thinking, can I have kids with this person? And in order to have kids with that person, she needs to know his character inside and out so she can always trust his actions and decisions.
Right.
So it's very, very interesting dynamic there.
What if women don't want to have children?
It's subconscious and animal. Whether you want to or not, your body has its, how old are you?
23.
23. Okay. So there's this thing called an internal clock. It'll start hitting you in about 5 years. Every girl I've ever met.
Well, even if you don't want kids, though, I think that most people think, okay, could I spend the rest of my life with this person, or even just a long period of time with this person? Unless you're just a one-night stand kind of a person, which I don't know you, but I don't think you are.
Are you a one-night stand kind of person? We're getting into the.
I mean, sometimes I don't like people enough to see them again.
Fair enough.
Good for you. That's awesome.
I mean, I like what I like.
Who wants to have a terrible night twice?
Yeah. No, even if it's good, even if it's good sex, but I don't like something about you, like say you text me too much or you want to hang out after or something like that, I'm like,
Damn, kicking to the curb, huh?
I mean, sometimes I want to hang out with that person.
Wait, what are you guys' signs?
I'm a Scorpio.
I'm a Cancer.
Okay. It's all starting to make sense now.
I'm like straight Cancer.
That's funny. I had you guys reversed. I had you as a Cancer and you as a Scorpio.
Oh, really? How funny.
But interesting.
But see, I think chivalry ties into, it's not just about the guy. It's the girl's responsibility as well.
To act like a lady and not be a fucking hoe out in the streets.
Mutual respect.
Some girls expect a guy to do that. They expect a guy to hold a door open for them. They expect the guy to pay for them. I've had guy friends. My best guy friend told me his entire 2-year relationship, he paid for every single thing for them. And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You don't split it ever?
Yeah.
When I'm in relationships and we're in a relationship, we take turns. You paid for this movie, I'll pay for that movie. We'll take turns.
Mm-hmm. And it's a new kind of societal respect for each other. And in a love and appreciation, realizing that, both parties can work now. Because that's where that all came from. It used to be the man paid for everything because he was the only one making the fucking money.
Exactly.
What do you think, Krystle?
I don't know. See, if I give my input, it's gonna make me sound like I'm not a gold digger by any means. I've dated plenty of broke guys, and I like them. You know what I mean? I just feel that if you're in a relationship, and I'm not gonna say I don't put in my half, but I feel like the man should be taking care of everything because I am more traditional like that.
I'll tell you what, it makes me so I don't know. I'm sure it was some part of this was social conditioning, but there's I want your thoughts on this afterwards, Adam. There's some part of me that really gets kind of defensive when women try and pay for things for me. And it took me a long time to accept that and be open to that because it was just I was raised in a single family home. My mom took care of me. And when I got old enough, it was fuck that. I'm going to take care of her now. I'm going to go through and I'm going to get it.
Aww.
And I just, when you're with somebody, I don't know if it's a socialization that guys just aren't good at taking gifts.
I think it's just like a new frontier. The whole like social dynamic is changing, and with women working and men working, like everybody, it's become a lot more equivalent. So, back in the 50s when women were subservient to men and they'd go work all day and come home with, and provide financial stability.
Yeah, well, from year zero
It's
to
different
1950.
Now you have women that are the breadwinners, and it's like it changes the whole dynamic. So it's kind of a...
Yeah, and I wonder how much generational memory comes into that, generational evolution, because you got to think about it. For the last 2,000 years or so, men have been filling one void, one position, and it doesn't even really matter the society or culture. Those, that's passed into our DNA. Like that's something that's ingrained. That's a habit that's been there. And I wonder if that was just kind of what naturally worked the best, or if like America's doing the rebellious thing and equality, but at the same time. Who's to say that that's not becoming a more natural thing, and that men and women's roles aren't going to evolve further?
Well, yeah, women used to, back. You think like, back when this was a wild planet, men had to provide safety for them. So realistically, women can provide their own safety these days.
And
as you demonstrated with your little
I think it's
self-defense weapon.
I think it's definitely like an American thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, like I was in Costa Rica last year, and we couldn't go certain places without a man with us as like protection. So like it's not safe for women in certain countries. So
yeah.
I definitely think it's an American thing that we've kind of made it equal.
Okay. Which it'll be interesting. And I wonder how it is in Canada, like the more socialized countries, the more socialist countries where it's not so driven by economic gain. I wonder what their relationships are like there. I wonder where the masculinity and the femininity falls in place. I wrote down a whole bunch of awesome questions, but we're going all over the place. It always happens like this. How does it make you feel when a man opens a door for you?
Depends on the man.
Okay, very good. Just.
I agree with that too. It really just depends on the person, because if that's who they are, then I'm just used to it. If it's not who they are, I'm not going to be pissed off if I have to get my own door.
Yeah. So you should spend like a day in a guy's shoes, because we never like.
I feel awkward if I don't open the door for anybody. Actually, like
Yeah.
I feel like if I let the door close, it's like I feel like it's a slap in the face.
Yeah, I feel like I made a mistake. I'm like, oh man.
I'm always trying to figure out how much time I have for that window where I need to hold it or let it go.
Yeah. It's like nerve-wracking as shit. And then when somebody opens the door for, like as a guy, when somebody opens the door for you, it's like, oh, that was nice of you. Well, thank you. Because it's not like people are going out of their way to like be nice to us. Like other men to men, we're like, okay, cool, like fuck off. We really, we kind of generally care about each other sometimes, but not all the time. So gallantry and chivalry, gallantry means both courageous and well-mannered. The two being quite different, but also synonymous. I found one word that tied both of them together, and that was respect. I think that a general sense of respect and appreciation for everything is kind of what all of this boils down to. I respect your space. I respect the fact that, I'm being thoughtful and careful toward you. Full of care. So when you're in my space, my environment, and there's something that I can, some way I can alleviate some stress from you, from figuring out how to get up to opening a heavy door. These are just general human kindness things, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, now we're gonna get into the really the offbeat stuff. So I'm just gonna ask a bunch of really out there questions. Why today in the age of social connectivity do you think that people are abandoning these social constructs? You guys should have studied for this.
Social media?
Yeah, so right now, like, we're more socially connected than we've ever been.
But we're not.
But
Right.
exactly, we're more disconnected, and we're abandoning every sort of etiquette there is.
Exactly, because now if we want to talk to somebody, we can just like send a text message and just be like, "Hey, babe, what's up?" And like instead of actually having a conversation with people and looking them in the eye and being able to relate to their body language and stuff, we don't have that anymore.
Okay.
It's funny that you even bring that up, because I was just thinking about this recently. I had a conversation with somebody, and I was talking about how before it wasn't weird to like go to someone's door. You know, like if you hadn't seen a friend in a long time, you just show up at their house.
Yeah, now it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's
Why are you
yeah, it's like
here?
creeper status. You know, and if a guy just randomly showed up at my door, I'd be like really uncomfortable. Even phone calls a lot of times. If people call you,
Yeah.
it's like, I'm one of those old school people. I actually make phone calls. I don't really appreciate texts. And if I call someone, sometimes they're like really put off. They're like, "Why are you calling me?" Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
I want to have a conversation with you. Sorry. But yeah, you're right. We are very connected through social media, but people are losing that social connection. And I feel like that has a lot to do with how people treat people nowadays as well.
Yeah, we're kind of degrading and watering down every little piece of of etiquette or of class, of respect, of general thought, you know, and even our own language has become, you know, stupid. Yeah, like, you know.
I say it too, but I know it's more it's ghetto. It's fun ghetto, but yeah, it's not classy anymore. People.
It's always the white girls talking ghetto.
Right? No, I know.
Oh God, get turned up.
Why are, all the hottest hip hop clubs in LA? It's a bunch of white girls.
Yeah, just woo. Oh my God. Yeah, no, fantastic. I used to live right on Hollywood Boulevard, across the street from him, and we've seen the best of it.
Oh, the best or the worst depends on your definition.
The best of the worst.
It's been an interesting run.
I've seen some
sure.
shit. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into that.
I also think it's like in Texas, you know, people are raised differently. You know, there's debutantes still, and they still are, you know, there's still like etiquette training that you have to go through. And so that's, I don't know, I guess it's like parts of the country are kind of slipping away from that, but some people are still holding on to the traditions.
I definitely agree.
That's nice.
I tend to get along with people a lot better if they're not from Southern California. That's true.
Well, and
Yeah.
I hate to say it because I know that a lot of what I do revolves around social media. I get a lot of bookings because of it, and
Exactly,
you know,
yeah.
I do a lot of modeling. And I'm not going to lie and say I don't have sexy selfies, but I think that also has a lot to do with relationships not working out as well as they were before, because so many girls feel like they need to be so sexy all the time.
Definitely. I'll you know, it's, and I it's funny because I this isn't my my belief system, or so to speak, but yeah, I think that there are a lot of women out there that their self-worth is entirely based on how sexualized they can be. You know, and having two people on who have made money off of being sexualized, you know, but there are a lot of women who feel like their value is based on how many guys want to fuck them.
Right.
And they fall into that trap, and it's like I've seen that go very, very badly when they get older. And you know, just that attention-seeking behavior, it's so bad. But at the same time, like it's funny because I've met girls, I've met a lot of girls in the adult entertainment industry, and they don't even, the attention isn't something that they seek at all. In fact, they've grown so comfortable with their bodies that they've learned to let the sexual nature of them, it's just like it's something that they're doing for work. It's like it's a fun thing, and
That's how it is for me.
Yeah, and they've embraced their body, and it's like now it's an entirely different thing. So why don't you guys explain that?
Well, for me, I don't know if it's the same as everyone else because my mom was like a nudist growing up. So
Okay, wow, so you're like born into it.
yeah, like I was always just comfortable being naked. I've like known about Playboy since I was real young, and I wanted to be in Playboy since I was real young. So it was just something like normal for me. And like, yes, I'm working, but I like being naked. Like I'm more comfortable shooting naked than I am in clothes sometimes.
Okay.
You have to worry about how it fits.
So it's funny. So you never actually gave it much thought. It was actually the reverse. You have to think more about like what might be appropriate, how I should dress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, I mean, being naked's just natural.
How was that for slumber parties?
I was always eager to come out for the summer parties.
Yeah, dude, that sounds like a lot of fun.
I mean, my mom wasn't going to do that when friends were over, but, you know, when it was just like us hanging around by the house, she was naked. And that was just like a normal thing.
Cool. She's just like, fuck it.
She's
Your dad too?
She's a popular
No.
mom on the block.
No, nobody really we didn't really, talk about it. Like she went to like nudist colonies and she went, you know, and did weekends away at like nudist resorts.
So
and
is it
stuff.
just you and your mom?
No, I have like a little brother and a dad, but it was just like me and my mom were more comfortable with it than my dad was. My dad's a prude, so.
That's
so
in-
interesting.
I'm glad
Yeah.
my dad stayed away from
I mean,
that.
they were a good balance. My dad was just like straightforward, hardworking Southern guy, you know, blue collar, and my mom was just like a free spirit nudist walking around with like tattoos of butterflies on her back.
That's cool.
That's such an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
That he just like walk home and she'd be like, you know, like flying around the house, spinning in circles, just like
doing the dishes naked, you know, like just.
that's the best way to come home.
Yeah.
But then if you come home to your wife and then your daughter and your son and everybody's just fucking butt naked, it kind of kills the mood. Like you'd walk in and be like, hey honey, you're
It wasn't like we hung out together naked. It wasn't that type of situation. It would just be like if we're hanging out in our room or like we don't have anything to do or, you know, we're not hanging out together naked. Like,
okay.
yeah.
Saves a hell of a lot
We're
of
not
money
sitting
on laundry.
around.
Saves
we're
a lot
not
of money
sitting
on
around-
laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Laundry
Cuts
We're not
the
sitting
detergent.
around
utility
watching
bill
TV
down.
together naked.
Okay, so well, I mean, I don't know anything about nudist colonies, so that's crazy because I never.
It's just like it's just normal. Like you're not, oh my God, they're naked. It's not that kind of situation.
Which is a huge socialization. I mean, technically, we were all born naked, and
Exactly.
the very fact that we need to put on clothes and all that comes with that is something that we're taught.
I posed topless on the Empire State Building 2 years back,
Mhm.
and it made like big international news. And the Empire State Building suing the photographer right now for it.
Wow.
Oh,
Because
wow.
they try to say that it's legal in New York for a woman to be topless anywhere a man can be. So in public, a woman can just walk down the street topless. And, you know, they tried to say that it was like endangering to the public. So my boobs are
Oh, wow.
dangerous.
They're
Why?
wa-
Why?
they're
Because King
wanted.
Kong was gonna come up there and motorboat that shit.
I don't know. I don't know.
What was gonna happen? I mean,
Exactly. Nobody even looked at me. Like, it's because, and what I realized was everyone that was up there, they were tourists. They were from other countries. They were speaking other languages. And me being topless up there, they were just like, they would look at me like,
That you were speaking the international language.
exactly. They would just be like,
Ass
oh,
and
That's a
titties.
language.
Go about
That's a
my
language
business.
everybody can understand.
I'm going to
Yeah.
go look at Manhattan.
boobs. We've all sucked on one of those once.
You know, I
Exactly.
guarantee there's probably a lot of Japanese people up there, and they're the biggest pervs on the planet.
Oh
That
yeah,
is true.
dude, I've watched some Japanese porn that just, I never got right after that. It just completely scarred me.
I've
And-
seen some Japanese porn and they like blur stuff out too. It's weird.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Isn't that weird?
They blur it out, and it's like they blur the good parts out, but they leave the muff, and it's just like tons
It's
and
gross.
tons and tons of seaweed salad, and I'm just like, what?
Oh,
the
my gosh.
Well, I mean, with all their hairstyles
Never
and
heard
stuff, they are
that
kind of
phrase
trapped in the
before,
80s.
ever.
Yeah, I was just like, fwaff, fwaff.
Oh, my gosh. It's so funny.
So, what do you think about nudity, Krystle?
You know, I'm pretty comfortable with my body as well. And I don't know. I know that a lot of people have a misconception about women who are comfortable with their bodies and comfortable with being naked or posing, you know, just modeling in general.
Yeah.
It's like
But-
that little kid on the playground, and he's like, you know, everybody's out there, and you know, little girl goes saying, like, you're a whore, and it's like, it's almost like, ha, you know, like that little fucking kid, like trying to make a big deal out of something that's really
Right.
not a big deal.
Oh, yeah. People judge me all the time.
All the
and
time.
Yeah,
It's
guys
hard.
automatically assume I'm
Super
easy
slutty,
or
yeah.
slutty, and women don't probably hate you too. They don't like
Women
me.
don't like
usually.
me.
Until they get to know me, and then they're like, "Oh, she's cool," you know.
I get the most. You're normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that a lot too.
I'm like, yeah.
Well, a lot of people think that you know, playmates and porn stars are damaged, or why would they do that? And like, so there's so many. Like, I've heard a lot of, because I've actually dated a lot of playmates and porn stars,
You
and
bad boy.
yeah, I know. But it, you know, it's just, it was like I got along with those people better because they'd been through some shit, and you know,
They're real
Yeah, they're
people.
definitely more real.
there's no
They put themselves out
that
there.
that
Exactly,
bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's funny because people get stuck with those. It's like, it's almost like a rock that gets stuck under your skin and it heals over. Like, people get stuck with their social constructs and what's inappropriate, and they stay in their little box, and they get so scared
Yeah.
of the world
Right.
and how people are going to perceive them. And then they're like, I can't. And it's just like, fuck off. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, you
oh
know.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
for sure. And I feel like my life is so boring, but people think that my life is so crazy because I've got these very like erotic type photos, and they're like, "Oh, you must be such a partier," and I'm like, "Actually, I'm not.
Mhm.
I rarely go out. I mean, yeah, I did my fair share of partying when I first started modeling, you know, going out to clubs and stuff, but that gets old so fast.
Yeah, and I mean everybody goes through that, you know.
Thursday through Sunday.
Right.
You did finally.
I'm having an ongoing relationship with my Netflix.
Yes.
We have a very healthy relationship.
You know
No,
what?
I know what you mean.
Netflix is amazing.
And I feel like with that being said, though, it is hard to get a guy to be good to you or take you seriously because they think, oh, this girl, like, she's got all these sexy photos and they think that automatically I'm an attention whore. Well, no, I've just happened to make a career out of what I'm doing and I'm going to stay doing it because I enjoy it, you know? And so I am a lot more picky because of that. And I notice that I have a lot of girlfriends that have guys that are constantly cheating on them, and they're not models, you know, they're just regular girls, but they're cheating on them and they're, you know, watching all this porn and whatnot, and they're checking out chicks that are posting these nasty selfies like of their asses online or whatnot, and that's just become the world today. You know, there's not much chivalry. I can't even say the word now.
Chivalry.
I can't say it.
All this ass talk.
There's not a lot of nice guys out there anymore.
This is true. And you know, it really just has to do with like letting a lot of that shit go.
Right.
The more you shed off of yourself, and
Right.
you start to care more about putting things back on, and like the, you know, it's funny because you have to shed it in order to build it. But I'm having the hardest time communicating that. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get it. They don't get it. They're over here like, what the fuck is Jerod talking about right now?
And don't get me
You've been
wrong,
drinking.
I'm not just.
No, I haven't. That's probably the problem.
Yeah.
Had I had a beer before I came in here, I'd be like, bang.
Good to go.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not just blaming men here because I do blame a lot of women too, because there's a lot of gold diggers out there who are ruining it for girls who actually want to have a serious relationship with somebody.
I agree with you.
You know,
on that.
just like how you were talking about earlier, how these girls have these expectations, or girls that just will call a guy up for a free meal. There's not a lot of respect out there anymore on both ends.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You
And
have to work harder to earn it.
I think that there's a lot of falsified information. There's a lot of people not being honest with themselves. Therefore, they're not being honest with the other sexual party. And through the course of our lives, you meet enough people that give you half truths. You're going to come with a completely warped idea of what women are and how to treat them and how to respond to them. And I cover this in the book, how it's such a detriment to men's self-development that, you know, women are not open and honest with men about how they feel because they don't want to hurt their feelings. They don't want to hurt guys' feelings.
I'm not like that at all. See,
I can tell.
I've had situations where like a guy was texting me too much, or like he could tell that I wasn't into him anymore, and he was like, well, what did I do wrong? And I was like, just like be yourself and stop trying too hard. And I'll just straight up tell him, and it usually doesn't work out, but at least they know for next time.
Well, thanks for helping the modern male movement.
You're welcome. It's important.
It is important. Honesty is so, you know, and you could deliver something tactfully, but it's really the way you communicate it. And then in the process of communicating it, you sometimes have the ability to open their mind up to a perspective shift that they wouldn't have ordinarily seen. And that's what I did. That's how I wrote. My entire book was literally a succession of fuck ups. And I went, oh, well, I'm not going to sit here and try and pretend like I know what the fuck I did. So why don't you tell me? And I got enough opinions, and I was like, oh, wow, cool. So there's the correlating factors. Boom. And now I've got a big-ass book that you can hit people with.
Amen.
And have you guys ever seen the actual book? No? Because I sent you guys the ebook.
Yeah.
No, the book is like as big as this computer. I mean, it's like half the size.
Wow.
It's like this thick, yeah.
Good job.
It doubles as a weapon.
Amen.
Yeah, girls could
Just in
girls
case.
could defend themselves with that, so they should buy it as
Yeah,
well.
so there you go.
There we
I'll
go.
just carry around
So it's
that
a good-
book
there
instead
you
of my
go.
knife.
More, I'd say 90% of the sales have been women. They buy the book and they give it to the guys. They're like, oh, this is everything that you needed to know about getting the girl.
What, just a little gentle hunch there, like a
little
little hint.
nudge.
There you go. Here's the book that you're fucking up.
Oh, no, we're even going to make like a total awesome marketing campaign where we basically just outright trick them and we make a cover for women to buy and they're like, oh, what is this? Oh, my God, my brother needs this. And then they pull the cover off and the book's just like fucking black. It's like black with like a stamp on it, methodology. And, you know, it's going to be like cool for guys. Because I feel like my cover on my picture on the cover just kills it. Like if I was a guy and I saw your picture on the cover of a book, I'd be like, fuck this guy. You know, I wouldn't go buy a book with some pretty dude on the cover. I wouldn't even. I
Did you
wouldn't
just
be,
call yourself pretty?
I know. I noticed that. I was like,
Yes, I did. Okay.
That's okay. I mean, you live in LA.
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about that.
He should have been. He could have been an actor.
I could have been. Oh my gosh.
So he was
Daddy, I want to be a star. So I have a whole bunch of little questions here, but I think we pretty much got all of them. When did chivalry become uncool? Was it laziness? Was it that Disney made it comical? Was it social awareness? Was it lack of education? Was it only ever used in royal elite circles, and is it still practiced today? Was it a lack of social turmoil and chivalry was no longer needed to preserve one's life? Was it the idea? Was the idea of it actually propagated more than its usage? So we have an idea of times beyond ours or before ours that predated us, but do we really have a realistic view of how it was back then? I mean, do we know how the fuck they acted?
No.
So why are we sitting here?
I couldn't exactly picture men being all that polite to women back then, in general speak.
Yeah. So part of me really thinks that chivalry was something that was only in social elitist societies.
Yeah, I think so.
And it was necessary because if you fucked up, you lost shit. Like, you lost money or you lost your life.
right. I agree.
And human beings, it's funny. I would love to go back 2,000 years and just chill for a bit and see if we're all that different.
I don't think we were. I think people are always going to be the same.
People are people.
Yeah.
They're always going to suck.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Some are good, some are bad, but
That one's mad.
Just kidding.
Okay, well, cool. So we're about to wrap up. Where can people find you? What do we got coming up? Any projects? Anything you wanted to add to the chivalry conversation before we segue out?
I mean, I'm a big Disney fan, so
Right?
I mean, I love the whole idea of Prince Charming. So.
I know the words to A Whole New World. That's
Oh,
how
really?
Yeah, that's how much I love
We'll have to
Disney.
do a duet.
Let's do this.
Okay.
All right, so you guys can find that on my YouTube channel. So, Eddie, any more little recaps? Disney's great. Disney's a great place to learn where to do cute things for women.
Exactly.
And I've borrowed a lot of that good stuff, and I have successfully pulled off quite a few Disney Prince Charming moves. Krystle.
wait, are we doing a recap or am I giving you my link?
Recap, and
Okay.
then we do links.
Oh, okay.
okay.
I don't really have a recap from tonight. I mean, I had a good time. Thank you for having me. And,
course.
Yeah, thanks.
I think that men need to just be themselves, but
Yes.
just don't be a dick. The fun-loving dick, okay, yeah, that's fine if that's who you are, but just be yourself, really.
Well, it's because men associate. So this is really, really important topic. And we're not going to get too far into this, but men associate who they are with how they are, and how you are and who you are not the same thing. They're not completely
Right.
synonymous. If you are, when you're saying be who you are, well, you want to be also a caring, awesome person, right? So in terms of that self-development, when your interior, is a certain way, like I care about this person, your exterior is going to kind of match that.
I
And
agree.
when we encourage, a guy might be a nice guy, but he might be completely oblivious to, caring about somebody or doing these things. He might
Right.
not think that those things matter, and they do matter.
No, I agree. Well, and to be honest, I've actually dated a couple people that were complete dicks, and they were never dicks to me. You know what I mean? So I think that if you care about somebody, you're going to go out of your way to be nice to them and to show them that you care about them.
I compare it to boxing. If you were going to get in the ring with Chuck Liddell, nobody would ever say, just stay how you are and get in the ring with him.
Right.
No, you need to train, you need to hone yourself, you need to build yourself up, you need to increase your cardio, your stamina, your punch capabilities, all of those different things so that you can get in the ring with him. And I'm like, if you want to get a girl like one of you lovely ladies, you may have to engage in some self-development, build yourself up and become a better person or the best
Right.
version of you.
I mean, you should
Yeah.
always be evolving. So.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
see, guys are always shedding, and they're always like, "No, I don't need that. I don't fucking no. I don't care. I'm gonna sit back in my chair and I'm gonna drink beer and fart."
Well, I think it's
Well,
just
then you won't get
important
the right girl.
Exactly. You won't get the girl. Period.
just to know who you are and to be true to yourself. And if you don't vibe with that person, then don't date them.
Okay. Cool. Adam, closing thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a great topic, and I think it's all about the small things. There's like you could put out such small effort and benefit someone's life in a great way. It's really not all that big a deal to.
That was so well said. It was.
Amen.
Yeah,
That was like
really
the
good.
sweetest thing anybody
I've been
said.
over here
good.
writing things out the whole time.
No. That was brilliant. Say that again for the camera.
It's the small things that count, people. It's the small things, the finer things in life.
Small things make a big difference.
Ask the Asians. They're doing
Actually,
great.
big things
small
make
things.
a big difference.
Small things.
Sometimes it's the small things.
The bigger, the better.
Oh wow. Okay, we weren't there. Oh, look at them. They both know it's true. There we go. Well, cool. Where can people find you?
At Elizabeth Marx on everything.
Okay, and it's MARX.
S.
Marx, yeah.
You were wrong.
I just left out the S. I knew the S was there.
Oh, okay.
I promise.
Okay.
On to you.
Same with me at Krystle Lina for everything. KrystleLina. And then I have a website, KrystleLina.com, if you're interested in booking me for a shoot. That's it.
Okay.
You can find me on social media, Adam Bazzini. That's Buzzini, or occasionally in the tree outside your window.
I'm sure a lot of our female listeners would love that.
Yeah, my
Next
lawyer's
sucker.
going crazy right now.
Cool. And as always, you can find us at methodologyofthemodernmale.com. YouTube, Jerod Zavistoski I just figured out my YouTube channel name. It's Jerod Zavistoski. I thought it was Modern Male Radio. It's not. It's my name. You can find us on Instagram at modern.male. You can find us on Twitter at Male Methodology. You can just fucking Google my name. But my name is like right here. So if you can see this,
placard.
Google my name and you will find everything that you need to find. Cool. We're going to be launching some cool campaigns, and I got some really exciting stuff coming up here shortly, guys, but I can't talk about it yet. So that's all for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Modern Male Radio. Oh, there we go.
You're listening to Modern Male Radio with Jerod Zavistoski and Sydney Hall, right here on LA Talk Radio.